Hi everybody, welcome to this playthrough for Pro and Expert Division for Bryson DeChambeau 9-hole cup. All holes in the Juniper point course here, playing from middle tee, which is obviously equivalent to Pro and Expert. We do have a couple of routes on a few of the holes to show you here as well, so you've got a little bit of preparation for different wind angles. And I'm going to talk you through all of the adjustments that I use here, and also some tweaks and alternatives as we go along the way. If you're new to the channel, very warm welcome. Don't forget, please do hit thumbs up on the video. It does help the channel immensely. And if you'd like to become a subscriber, it is totally free. Get the bell button switched on to get notified when we upload content, or go live. There will be first look at Expert and Master free to play on Thursday 8 AM UK time, which is directly at the beginning of the tournament. Check out the links in the video description down below, and check out the playlists on the channel homepage as well. Alright then, here we go. Let's begin with hole number 1. Two options to show you here on hole number 1, and any form of tailwind, I'm going to be blasting it over there. Tighten ball, we're going to be absolutely fine. 6 bars of top spin, 2 bars side spin to the left, going with the A pot because we need it for the curl. Max plus 10, push back up to max. Then we're going to go with full overpower. You see, I'm going to use what looks like a lot of curl here. The reason I'm going with this is because we have wind from left to right. It's going to push us towards the bunker. If we have wind the other way, would need to reduce the curl. Full overpower with the Titan. Obviously, you can go with the berserker and less overpower if you want to. Hitting perfect, and even though we're using a lot of curl, look, we are still only just missing left of pin. Just rolling onto the fringe, very, very makeable wedge for an eagle. If we do have headwind, then we are going to have to lay up. So that's what I'm going to show you here. I'm not going too mad with the top spin here though, because I do want a nice line to the green without the sand being in the way. So just a couple of bars of top spin, 3 bars side spin to the left. Adjust max plus 10, even though we are not in max distance of club, and that's because we do have headwind. No curl here because we don't want to risk the bunkers on the fairway. Obviously, if we do have wind pushing us to the right, could go with a little bit of curl, but look, we're not a million miles away from the sand there, so this is absolutely fine. 300 yards or thereabouts. Second shot, playing with the Grizzly, and I'm going to be playing true club distance plus 10% elevation. So I'm finding min and I'm finding max, working out where we are in club range. I estimate this to be 40% slider, and I'm going with a no spin approach. I'd rather catch the slope on the green here than play nearer to the green with backspin. Mistake I make here though is that the slope is going to take us a little bit too fast, and we do miss to the left, so I needed a bit more adjustment here, but for a first look it's not bad at all, and this is the approach in headwind that I will be taking. So second bounce on the fringe and just rolls. We do miss slightly to the side of the pin, but only by half a square, but decent for a first look. Hole number 2, as long as we don't have predominantly tailwind, I am going to play with the sniper, and I'm going to go with the backspin approach. 2 bars right spin, between 5.5 and 6.5 bars of backspin depending on the wind. Here it is all about trying to catch a mini funnel towards the pin from the slope, top right corner of the green as we look. What I don't do here though, need to do more of, is anticipate the second bounce wind effect. We do miss this one to the left. The adjustment I make here is mid-distance 20% elevation. We do have a more headwind, I would be playing maximum numbers instead. So mid plus 20, and we do get the general idea of it here with a perfect ball. However, this is one where I think a token would be good, just to see how much offset you are going to need. As you can see, we do come in too far to the left here, so we either go with more adjustment or we go with more offset to begin with. If we just aim that one more square to the right, we're going to be very close indeed. Hole number 3, we have some tailwind here, so I'm going to go aggressive. With the Titan, play with 6 bars top spin. Stupidly, I reduced this to 5 top spin. I didn't need to. 2 bars side spin to the right, stretch out, find our position. Then we are going to adjust max plus 10, then push back up to max. Can go with a berserker if you want to use less overpower. Here I'm going with max, but I did need to stick with 6 bars top spin. Plenty of curl to the right, almost one ball, outside the adjustment ring to the right. We do hit great left here, so we are going to be nearer to the rough on the left than we would like, but we still do find the fairway, and that's absolutely fine. Obviously a perfect would have put us a little bit more away from the rough. 392 yards. Obviously if you have more topspin, and if you'd have gone with 6 bars like I wanted to, we'd have been a little bit further. So we would probably have been in max distance Thorn here rather than Grizzly, but we still have a chance. I'm playing here 20% slider plus 10% elevation. I was judging from the minimum distance line how far I was from min. Check out the Academy playlist, tutorial videos for min, mid and max, and also slider and rings from min guidance. So 20% slider, 10% elevation. The ball guide did disappear, however, because there's a lot of flight time before the tree, I didn't actually need to go with any curl. And we dropped that beautifully, ball guide to hole for an albatross. Hole number 4, tricky par 3, this one due to the wind effect and also the design of the hole. Going with a navigator, obviously an expert division with more wind strength, I would suggest you go with a Kingmaker or even a Centurion if you have some to spare. We're going between 4 and 5 bars backspin on this hole and a little bit of side spin to the right because the wind is going to push us left. I am offsetting the ball guide here and my adjustment is medium distance, 10% elevation. We adjust slightly downhill here, but it's not going to bother me, to be honest. If I do adjust into the bunker though, that is going to have more of an effect because we're adjusting much more downhill. Hitting perfect, but as you'll see here, that wind is still pushing us a little bit too much to the left. So move our aim point half a square to the right, as we missed by half a square. Going to be a very good adjustment there. Now hole 5, 4.5 topspin, 2 bars side spin to the left. We have a hint of tailwind here, but it's predominantly crosswind. Red ring touching the rough on the left at max with the power 3 ball. Max plus 20 is the adjustment. Here what I needed to do, which I didn't, was I should have pushed up 2 or 3 yards because we do drop to a slightly lower point. Half wall curl to the left, and we are hitting perfect. Obviously if you have wind pushing the other direction, you will need to adapt the curl a little bit. We only just made it across, which is why I said there I should have pushed up a little bit. We do have plenty of room. Bowl-shaped fairway is going to keep the ball in play unless you hit a horrendous great left or great right. Second shot, play true club distance plus 10% elevation. There is a sticky spot here. I did spend quite a bit of time trying to find it, but didn't quite get there. So in the end, I played this one, I think 85 to 90% slider plus 10. Problem I had here with the spins I had on, I didn't leave the ball guide short enough of pin. So we do come in a little bit on the hot side, which is going to happen with the design of the fairway and the green. So narrow miss to the right, but still a very, very good chance. True club distance plus 10 is what I would recommend. Hole number 6, going with the narrow strip of fairway to the left. Power 2 ball here. 4 bars top spin, which I then decide to go with 4.5, and 1 bar side spin to the left. I would recommend aiming a little bit more left of centre here because the wind is going to push us to the right. Max plus 10 is the adjustment here, and I don't push up to max because I don't think we need to. Obviously power 3 ball can be used as well, but we do hit this one perfect. If you are using a power 3, I would just dial back on the top spin slightly. There you can see the wind did push us a little bit too close to the rough, which is why I do advise just aim slightly off centre if you do have level crosswind. Second shot from here, going to be playing true club distance with the thorn, and I want to either go with no spin or a little bit of backspin. I'm finding the min line here and I'm pushing up rings from min, as I mentioned earlier in the video. If you don't know about that concept, check out the Academy playlist. We do have a tutorial about it. It's a very, very good way to drop more shots. I'm pushing up here around 14-15 rings, so I'm playing this one 15% slider, and because we're playing uphill, I'm going minus 10% elevation. I do decide to go with half a bar of backspin in the end, just looking at the ball guide and judging my experience of playing with the thorn. Pulling over the bullseye here, as I said, 15% slider, minus 10% elevation. We have an excellent chance at a drop here. We're just away on 0 seconds on the clock. but it does drop beautifully for a very nice eagle right at pin. Hole number 7, we do have a nasty headwind on this one, but I'm going to show you an attempt at the rough bump anyway with the quarterback. 3 bars topspin and some side spin to the left. Playing with a navigator ball, this is a tricky hole, to be honest, because of the elevation, but also how you adjust sometimes downhill and sometimes uphill. This is very, very difficult to kind of get absolutely nailed first time. The adjustment here, I go max distance 0 elevation. That's only because I do have straight headwind. Usually I would play this mid distance 0 in crosswind or tailwind. We do hit perfect, however we are a little bit on the short side. Needed a bit more topspin because the headwind just killed the pace, but that is the type of line that we need. A little bit more topspin, that would have been very nicely close indeed. Hole number 8, going to show you 2 options here. We do have headwind, so here is a layup version to begin with. 4.5 topspin and 2 bars side spin to the left, playing with the extra mile. Could go with a little bit more topspin, however I'm quite happy with where this finishes. I'm not at max distance of club, but because we do have headwind, I play this one max numbers plus 10% elevation. Takes us to max. Obviously, if we were adjusting to overpower, I would add that on as well. I go with half a ball of curl here, a little bit too much, maybe half a wall or even no curl, because the wind is going to push us to the left. But we are on the fairway and we are absolutely fine. So I will take that, to be quite honest. And the reason I don't want to push it ridiculously hard is because here I've got a very, very nice line for the rough bump. Okay, the rough bump may still be on if you're further away or further down the fairway, but I do kind of like the line we have here and the wind angle. So I'm going ball guideline to the hole with the grizzly. I'm very close to min distance here, so I adjust this one to true club distance 0 elevation. So I go actually minimum distance plus 0.1, which is equivalent to 5% slider. However, this one is under adjusted, so on this occasion I believe 5% elevation would have been more appropriate, but it gives you a suggestion of a good line to play if we can't go for the aggressive option on the drive. Good speed though, and I do think that rough bump will be a very interesting play. Any form of tailwind, we are going to have to go for the hop, skip and the jump to the green. Going with the Berserker 4.5 topspin, 2 bars side spin to the right. Stretching out to find my position. Second bounce, centre of that second fairway pad. We're leaving it short because the tailwind is going to push us. 2.5 rings that I need to push up, so I adjust max plus 10 first. Then I'm going to push up. Mistake I make here, even though I push up my 2.5 rings, is we are still at a lower point than my initial aim. So we are going to lose distance. I needed to push up 1 more ring here, and you'll see on this occasion it does cost me. We do bounce very nicely on the fairway and on the second fairway as well with the 8.4 wind that we have, but just a little bit short. I think 1 ring more would have clipped the rough and rolled very nicely out onto the green, but still very makeable sand wedge all the same. Hole number 9 to finish then. We've got an interesting approach here, to be honest, playing aggressively on the second shot. Drive first though that we need to deal with, and we are bouncing over onto that circular area of fairway. So add your spins, get your second bounce just beyond the rough. So it's 4 bars top spin, I think, and then 2 bars side spin to the left. Adjustment max plus 15. Because I adjust downhill slightly, I do push up 2 yards just to compensate for the loss of distance on the aim point. Half a ball of curl to the left, obviously because the wind is going to push us right. If we have wind the other way, you will need less curl. But we're just aiming to get towards the top area of this fairway. And that's absolutely fine. Could have pushed it a bit harder, but I'm still in range. And here with this wind angle, I decide, do I want to go for a rough bump or do I want to play a containing shot? Obviously, if you don't want to go for the rough bump, just get yourself safely to the green for an eagle. However, 9-hole cup coming up, I do think we need to be a little bit more aggressive. Just trying to find a good position here and mixing around with the spins to try and get a good line to the pin. Playing with a decent amount of backspin, as you can see here. I do decide 2 bars of right spin is the way to go. And look, we've got a nice little route there to the pin. We're not at max distance of club, but the time is ticking on this one. I decided to play it max plus 20. Max plus 20. I do think this is an interesting route if we do have a good wind angle to attempt. First time I've ever played this shot, to be honest. I do hit perfect, and I'm quite pleased with the result. We hit the rough exactly where we want to, but just gonna miss to the right edge, but still very good for a first look. Max plus 20. Thank you very much for watching the Pro and Expert playthrough. Hope you found it useful, and good luck in the Bryson DeChambeau 9-hole cup. See you soon.